Hi BookTube, my name is Juan. I am just one reader. Welcome back to another video in the Goldfinch read-along check-in series of videos that we're doing, discussing this wonderful book by Donna Tartt. And so today we will be discussing a very important portion of the book, in my opinion. This is pages 541. I think 541 to 638, I believe. Yeah, so in this portion of the book, something really important happens. Spoiler warning, spoiler alert. If you haven't read this portion of the book, stay away from this video because I am going to reveal the big twist. So in this portion of the videos, some very important things happen, but I feel like the most important thing that happens and that has to be addressed is the fact that Donna Tartt pulls the rug under our feet. And we discover, along with Theo, that the painting has been stolen many years ago, so he's never really been in possession of the painting for all these years since he fled Las Vegas. He hasn't had the painting with him as he thought he did. So that was a seriously disturbing, nerve-wracking moment for me reading this book. And you know what? Donna Tartt must be some kind of evil genius because I did not remember that from reading the book the first time. I had no recollection of that event. So the fact that I was not expecting that, I was not anticipating that, I literally stood up, I audibly gasped, I could not believe what was happening. So that means that Donna Tartt, you are a genius, criminal mastermind, literary wonder, because I read your book and I completely forgot about it, and now that I reread it for the second time, I was so caught up in it, I was so immersed in it that I never thought of the possibility of that happening. So that happens, and that of course is such an important moment, such a big revelation. It really does feel like it, as a reader, you feel the same thing that Theo must feel at that time, which is feeling like the very foundations of the earth have shifted or have just disappeared altogether. So it is really disturbing. I was very upset and genuinely distraught when that revelation came up. So that is very important, and of course that marks a shift in the novel as well. Some other things happen as Theo is encountering Boris again in this moment in life, and there's a weird scene with Boris and Theo. They go to this building with some Russian people. I didn't really care for that part. I thought that was some distracting detail, but anyway. Eventually, we come to witness Theo and Kitsy's, is it Kitsy? Yeah, Kitsy's engagement party. I really liked this scene. I loved picturing everything and everyone in this room, all the money, all the luxury, all the snobbery. There's this character who is so wonderfully Dickensian, obnoxious, pretentious, false. He claims to be a relative, a descendant of Washington Irving, and he's just the most ridiculous, eccentric, obnoxious character ever, and I really enjoyed his appearance in the book. And then, of course, right at the ending of this section, when we are at the engagement party, something happens, something comes up, and Theo and Boris have to run away. They have to go to Amsterdam. Why? Well, it's probably something related to the painting and trying to get it back. So that's pretty much the setup for the finale. We know right away that the following section of the book is going to be the big finale, the grand finale. It's going to be the race to find and hopefully recover the painting finally once and for all, which is like the lost talisman. So there's a sense of rush, of adrenaline, of quest, almost like Indiana Jones, you know, like there's a sense of quest in here as they decide that they have to run to Amsterdam. That's it. That's what happens in this chapter, in this portion of the book. My only complaint at this point in the book, my only small complaint would be that scene with Boris and Theo when they go to this apartment with this character, these Russian people. It's a weird scene. I didn't really care for it. I'm forgetting what the significance of that scene was, or of meeting that character. I don't remember, honestly, but I want to believe that it's there for a reason. I just don't know. So I would really appreciate it if you think of why that scene was relevant or necessary for this story. I would really appreciate it if you could let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, this was so enjoyable, and Donna Tartt does something incredible, which is playing with the perception of time and space and experience. So as Theo discovers this lie, this theft, that Boris took the painting from him that night when his father died, and later that night Theo decided to run away from Vegas. You immediately remember that there was something that Boris was trying to tell him. He's like trying to convince Theo not to go, and Theo's like, what? He actually says this line, I remember it. He says, what the motherfuck? Like he's so desperate to leave, but Boris is like, no, you can't leave. There's something important, but I can tell you. And Theo says, what the motherfuck? I love that. And so immediately you remember, oh, that's why that scene felt so shady and so strange. Like there was something else going on that as a reader you were not aware of. You were not aware of. So now we know, and it feels like it's so satisfying, but at the same time it's so upsetting. Like physically, I could feel acid reflux going up my esophagus. It was so intense. So when we discover that, we also discover that what happened in Vegas didn't stay in Vegas. No, what happened in Vegas was not exactly the way that Theo experienced it, or the way that Theo put it in words and put it in the book and narrated it in the book for us. So what Theo remembers from Vegas, from that time with Boris, is very different to what Boris remembers. So when we see Boris's own version of what happened in Vegas, it's like, it's wonderful, because again, it feels like Donna Tartt is pulling the rug under our feet. It feels like we are something that we've been looking for frontally. Now we're looking at it from the other side, or from another side, from another angle. So we're looking at the story and what happened in Vegas from another perspective, and things start to fall apart. Theo's truth of what happened, his story, his narrative starts to fall apart, and we start to understand Theo a lot more, and he becomes a more complicated character, in my opinion. That's all I want to say today about the Goldfinch. I really enjoyed this portion of the book because it was so upsetting and so like viscerally emotional, and also because I think this is when we see that Donna Tartt has been playing us, or has been playing with us very cleverly. So there you go. So I will see you next week for the grand finale, the final portion of the Goldfinch. And in the meantime, I'm gonna sing a little song from the musical Waitress. This song is What Baking Can Do. Make it work, make it easy, make it clever, craft it into pieces, make it sweet, crimp the edges, or make it sour and serve with lemon wedges. Even a doubt can be delicious, and it washes off of all the dirty dishes. When it's done, I can smile. It's on someone else's plate for a while. I'll place it on display, and then I'll slice and serve my worries away. I can fix this, I can twist it into sugar, butter covered pieces. Never mind what's underneath it, I have done it before. I'll bake me a door to help me get through. I learned that from you, Mama. It's amazing what baking can do. Make it up and surprise them. Tell them all my secrets, but disguise them so they dance on the tongues of the very people that their secrets from. Make it soon, make it better, though better never lasts forever. I'll make it small so it fits. Even this, even now, even as the walls come tumbling down, even as I can't stop remembering how every door we ever made, we never once walked out. Something I never got the chance to ask her about. So with flour on my hands, I'll show them all how goddamn happy I am. Sugar, butter, flour, don't let me down. Let's see the next amazing thing baking does now.